get to know more about what could be those possible changes that we are discussing here. Let's go straight to Trent Bridge, where our dear friend Vimal is joining us. Vimal, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rahul.
Oh, I think Trent Bridge, the network is pretty fine. In fact, we also can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Firstly, what is MS Dhoni doing there? Your dear friend.
MS Dhoni, we know that, even though he's not playing, no longer playing in this cricket team, but he's everywhere. कहते हैं ना संस्कृत, there is a quote in Sanskrit, yatra tatra sarvatra. That means here, there, everywhere. That is the aura of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So this team, even if he was the teammate or a former captain, the awe he is in being held. And yesterday he was one of the surprise guests, and he met some of the younger players, gave them pep talk. So it was refreshing to see Mahendra Singh Dhoni, because all the last 1 week he was in London. Celebrating his birthday with family friend, but good to see that he spent a couple of hours with this team.
Good to know that he was giving pep talk to some of these youngsters, but there are seniors also, or maybe if I can say one senior player who also needs a pep talk from the great MS Dhoni.
Yes, definitely. We all know that, and I think, Rahul, from that what you were saying, that Virat Kohli's point of view, this game is really indeed very critical, because if you look at this Indian team, we all know that the openers are settled, the finishers are settled. We know the finishers are Hardik and Dinesh Karthik. Openers, we know that. So, and the middle order is the only place where, and also in middle orders, Virat replaced someone like Deepak Hooda, who was a man of the series in Ireland, and obviously he had two great games in England as well. And he was wrong. So definitely pressure is enormous on Virat Kohli to prove himself that he is back to form. So no better place, because I think after that the one day series starts, and he will definitely be a certainty in the ODI matches. The same thing can't be said about the T20s. So.
And what are you having for lunch? I believe you are in some restaurant.
Yeah, out.
Yeah, I believe you are in some restaurant. What are you having for lunch? And do you have company?
I am not having a since morning. I haven't eaten anything because of you. I just sacrificed my breakfast.
Oh.
So I will have lunch because I have to work out. You are there sitting in the studio, AC box,
You are in England, enjoying your meals with friends, and these I saw. Just to keep you
going.
Bananas, huh? Acha, Rohit Sharma did mention about possible changes in the last game. In fact, after the last game, do you see any change in this 11, and what could be those possible changes?
I think, Rahul, we could see a couple of changes, and reasons could be different. I can't confirm it, but the news I am getting that Bumrah, and Chahal, they have left for London. I'm yet to confirm. I just entered the press room and someone told me that they have left for London for ODI.
Jasprit Bumrah,
and Chahal. These three players.
Okay.
Yeah. Look unlikely all these three will play, although I can't confirm because the toss is about to start. So we might pick up, but this is the news because I just entered the press room and I got if that indeed is the case, and it is possible because India has already wrapped up the series. There is nothing for Bumrah or Pant or Chahal to prove. Maybe a couple of more players they can change. They can allow Virat Kohli the freedom. He can settle himself, and Deepak Hooda can come back. So these are the options, but if indeed they have left for London for the ODI series preparation, I think no harm in that, because India has already won the series.
All right, so this is the big news that we are getting straight from Nottingham. In fact, Vimal Kumar, our dear friend, is there, and what he is telling us is that the possible changes that we are looking at in this particular T20 international is that Rishabh Pant, Yuzi Chahal and Jasprit Bumrah might just sit out of this game because they've already left for London. India, of course, is scheduled to play a 3-match ODI series once this T20 series gets over, and for that, the 3 players who have already left for London are Rishabh Pant, Jasprit Bumrah and Yuzi Chahal. So these could be possibly
Ravi Bishnoi might come.
Yeah, Ravi Bishnoi
is the like for like, and Umran for.
So Umran could make it back into this 11. Ravi Bishnoi, of course, he's part of the T20 series, not the ODI series.
And Ishan Kishan comes in for Pant.
Or maybe Deepak Hooda.
Half they want, but again that will
because DK will keep.
No. I'm not talking about the keeping aspect of it. I think it will be then again you're tinkering with the opening order, this that.
That's the only issue. I think I'll go with Shane. Right, Nikhil. Right, Vimal. Ishan Kishan most likely, if Rishabh Pant does miss out on this game, Ishan Kishan is the possible inclusion in this 11, because then you will have an opener coming back into the 11, because if you Deepak Hooda did open in against Ireland, but then still you will need an opener there.
I think so. And in any case, if you look at India would like to continue with this left-right combination, one dasher. Although within his different mood, he has changed his style. But the fact is that India needs somebody at the top with the left hand and somebody who is willing to go from the word go. And whether it is Rishabh Pant or Ishan Kishan, because Ishan Kishan obviously, because he has been opening for Mumbai Indians for a long time in domestic cricket and all those, and for India. So maybe one more game for Ishan Kishan.
Also, by the way, someone in the comments is pointing out that it's not what do you call Pant. It's Hardik who's the third player who's gone.
Okay.
So Hardik could potentially. That's what is that. Apparently, Sanjana Ganesan has confirmed that on the broadcasters.
Okay. So, but still, I think it could. Vimal, what we are also learning is that possibly, although we'll rely on your information, but possibly it could be Hardik Pandya who may have left alongside these players. Hardik Pandya may have left for London. So, he might just miss out alongside these players. So Rishabh Pant may not miss out. But the Indian team must be pretty happy with the kind of results that they have, and especially against this England team, which has set a new template, going into the 2019 World Cups ever since Eoin Morgan took over after the 2015 World Cup. But it seems as if India are giving a taste of their own medicine, in fact, to England.
Indeed, Rahul. In fact, it's been a staggering turnaround. If you had asked me the same question after the 5th day play in Western, the way India lost the plot simply after of 3 days, and in fact almost half day of fourth day, and then coming back so stronger. Supposedly England are far superior side in white ball format, especially at home, and then winning, not only winning those matches, winning so convincingly. There was no doubt. In fact, India finishing the matches in as early as by the time 7th over, 8th over power play gets over, England chase is over. You are getting Josh Butler and Jason Roy for 8 runs, nearly 8 runs in 4 innings. So that is where we all know that the most of the time the games are won and lost in the power play, whether with the ball or with the bat. So England has looked clueless while batting against Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and obviously Jasprit Bumrah and others. But Bhuvaneshwar has been super. And yesterday Bhuvaneshwar was saying that he was surprised to see the kind of swing he is getting in England. Because last time when he was there, he was struggling to get the swing. So suddenly throughout in a deep game where the bounce is good, the swing is there. So as a bowler, you can't be happier than that. For this kind of condition, the condition in favor of you is the one thing. Exploiting those conditions to optimize all those things in your team's interest is another thing. That is what Bhuvaneshwar has been doing.
One last question before we let you go and resume your work, because toss is about to happen in next couple of minutes. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, you mentioned about Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. He came for the presser last evening. I'm sure you were there. For him, for a player like him, in fact, just a couple of months ago, we thought that maybe we have to look beyond Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, but he has redeemed himself. Sort of a revelation once again, and the kind of swing that he's generating, he's actually making life difficult. In the first T20 he didn't pick too many wickets, but the kind of swing that he was generating, it was very frustrating for top class batsmen like Joss Butler, Jason Roy and the other batsmen who followed them.
I think I'm superb. If you look at Bhuvaneshwar, it was never going to be, it was not supposed to be the easy series for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, because had Deepak Chahal been fit, who knows, Bhuvi might have been in this team, because if you look at the same kind of role Deepak Chahal plays. So Bhuvaneshwar has grabbed this opportunity. He's an experienced campaigner. Time and again we have seen what he has done for Sunrisers Hyderabad in past. Is superb. You as a captain, he can be used anytime from the power play, build over, death over, especially at the most difficult overs. He's somebody who will always have a smile on his face without any complaint. He will bowl the difficult overs. That is what, as a T20 captain, you want. Always willing to raise his hand. The good thing, what I noticed with Bhuvaneshwar's thought, we were interacting with him. I told him that this is the best Indian attack, what you have to say, and the sense of humor came out. He said, "भैया आप लोग बोल रहे हैं अभी कि best attack है, कल पिटाई हो जाएगी, आप भी तो बोलो कि worst attack है." So he has that, somebody not getting carried away by a sudden adulation. We all get carried away. Okay, one day he's doing well, Bhuvaneshwar is great, and suddenly 4 over 50 runs, no wicket, and we say Buddha ho gaya. So he has that sense of perspective, sense of protection. That is something refreshing, and it's a great news for Indian cricket.
Good to hear that Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has his humor intact. Vimal, thank you very much. We'll come back to you, and you may please go ahead with your meal if you are having. And we don't want to come in your way and your meal, but let's hope for the best. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the big news. Hardik Pandya, Yuzi Chahal and Jasprit Bumrah are unlikely for this T20 international, the last match of this T20 series, because they've already
left for London.
For the ODIs. For the ODIs. So that's the big news that we are getting straight from Nottingham. Our friend and colleague Vimal has just informed us.
That's big, and that's actually interesting, because then now that's why Rohit was saying with such confidence yesterday that we're definitely going to be having changes made, because well, he knew.
Yeah, because you don't have that much of time also. The turnover from the T20s to the ODIs is actually not much. 10th, today the third ODI T20I finishes. 12th is the first ODI.
Exactly.
14th is the second ODI.
And then 17th.
Why has toss not happened?
Well, it should happen now.
It should have happened 2 minutes back, I guess.
Normally, Well, it's happening now.
Finally.
It's happening now.
Yep. So that is the thing. It makes sense for some of the players to go immediately for the ODIs, because India have a great bench strength. So why not? And England have won the toss.
England won the toss. I guess they're going to choose to bowl
again.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Whether or not they lose again is a different matter.
And is it true that England are playing their full strength squad in the ODIs? This is not their full strength.
No, the T20s, they've really not played a full strength squad. They're missing quite a few players in that way.
I know. I mean, it's
okay. The Indian team is out. Yes. So Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, Dinesh Karthik, Ravindra Jadeja, Harshal Patel, Avesh Khan, Umran Malik and Ravi Bishnoi. So that's the Indian squad. That means Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah,
Yuzi Chahal
and Yuzi Chahal have been arrested or miss out.
Or will be missing out due to travel purposes.
So sticking to the same combination, Rohit and Pant, or will Virat open today?
I think Pant will open. They are not going to try that experiment. It's a one-off. I think they're trying it, keeping it in mind.
Yeah. So England opt to bat.
Oh, they opted to bat.
Yes.
Wow, very interesting.
So India will chase today, and one hopes that this brings about a different dimension, because a lot of people are saying big knock incoming and loading.
People have been saying that for a long time now. So.
Arslan Khan said this and next West Indies series is not proper preparation for the World Cup. I kind of do not agree with it, because see, you play according to the availability of the teams that are there. England were available, and England actually is one of the best teams. Of course, they are not playing full strength in the T20s, reasons known best to them.
Yeah.
But the West Indies teams, they are a two-time World T20 champion. In T20Is, they can turn it around.
Exactly. They have a lot of big power hitters. They're actually a good team to test yourself against, especially considering you'll be playing it away from home.
And again, if it's New England and probably New India, it's also the New West Indies. Nicholas Pooran is leading the side. So what other series can you have played with?
Exactly.
That's the problem. So at this point in time, if we have to see, India are playing 15 T20Is.
Yeah.
You're also going to play Australia. You didn't have time for this because New Zealand had other bilateral commitments.
Correct.
So England, Australia, West Indies, you already played against South Africa. Where else can you then play? You're playing 4 great teams.
Yeah.
If this is not ideal preparation, then what is? I really don't know, Arsalan.
Also, just in case anyone of you guys are wondering why I have this in front of me, I'm watching the Austrian Grand Prix as well as, being with you guys, because Super Sunday, lots of sport. Don't forget Wimbledon is starting, so we're going to be bringing you all of that too. But if I have to talk about it, I need to be watching it. So this is going on in the background.
So, but if this is not a proper preparation then what is? This is what you get.
Yeah.
And you're playing against one of the best T20 sides in the world at the moment.
You're going to play South Africa. You've already played South Africa. You're playing England. You're playing 2-time World T20 champions West Indies. On top of that, you're going to play the Asia Cup, which will also have Sri Lanka and Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Correct.
Plus the final the final bilateral series against Australia. What ideal preparation would you want then?
Then actually, arguably, all of the teams that would be threats.
Yep.
So England will bat first in this last T20 international against India at Nottingham. And as you can see, Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah and Chahal have been rested, and all three have already left for London for the ODI series that begins day after.
Yes.
So that's the big news. India, which means India will have the same opening combination in Rohit Sharma and Rishabh Pant. Virat Kohli, again interesting to see what Virat does today. Of course, he didn't play the first match, but now he will be under tremendous pressure.
Yes.
Although I don't know what he can do or what he should do. Of course, he should get some runs under his belt, but I think for him to get back into the form, ODIs,
was the ideal format
against England will be the best opportunity for him to get back into the form.
I would have also extended that and said for the West Indies as well,
But he has
he's
not playing the ODI series at least. We'll get to know about the T20 series. Of course, there are reports that he has sought rest from the selectors for that T20 series also, because the West Indies ODI series is not part of the ODI Super League.
And I think for the ODIs in that sense, none of them really matter for India, right? Because they are qualifying for the World Cup as hosts anyway.
Their next ODI Super League is the 3 proposed ODIs against Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So again, this year there should not be much focus on ODIs. It's a T20 year.
Exactly.
But after the T20 is done in November, then focus on ODIs, because you'll play very few T20s at that point in time.
Exactly.
So why don't...
Alright, Arslan Khan is back again. He says that Asia Cup and Australia series will be the proper conclusion as far as where this Indian team stand.
Asia Cup is an interesting thing because India's biggest problem in recent years is that they've done very well in bilaterals, but when it comes to a knockout cup, ICC tournaments.
The last time you won the Asia Cup, I think you had the same captain.
Yes.
And Arslan, you are right. Asia Cup and the Australia series, you can always say that it will be a good preparation ground for India. But then you all throughout the year you have to play cricket, and you have to play again. And if you are competing against the best or one of the best, no harm in that. Huda, of course, is not there again. Okay. Can we take
I
a
don't
few
think
questions?
think we were expecting Huda back.
Kanish Jory is like saying, direct question to you all. If Pant plays well as opener and Virat, Sky, DK at 6 play well, when KL will return, will you bring Pant down the order in place of DK? I will not.
You will not.
No.
He will not. Yeah, because KL will automatically fit into the opening. Will he bat at number 6?
He's not batting at 6 for
No,
sure.
you are saying you will not. But the
Kanishk is saying, I will not.
Is that he will not drop Pant down, but I don't think
if
there's
Pant
much
plays
choice.
well as an opener and Virat,
Sky
DK at 6
Play well.
play well. When KL will return, will you bring Pant down the order in place of DK? So then what do you do?
That's the conundrum because we all.
I think KL Rahul is the automatic choice
Obviously,
as far as opening
obviously.
is concerned. At least as of now, he is. But then he will also have to prove his fitness and form. Because I don't know when he's going to come back. He had that sports hernia and got operated in Germany. Now he's back in India. Let's see how much time he takes to recover and what happens thereafter. So, but still the question is, because it was a good experiment, to be very honest, I think to get the best out of Rishabh Pant, in fact, Mr. Sunil Gavaskar, who of course celebrates his
birthday today,
73rd birthday today.
Yep.
Many happy returns.
Many happy returns of the day to
So
the Master Blaster.
He also had suggested that Rishabh Pant should open with Rohit Sharma.
Yes.
But then we will have to see if the selectors, the team management find that
That's a long-term solution. That's
exactly.
See, if Pant does not do well in the remaining match and also in the 5 T20Is against West Indies,
then his spot is under serious threat.
under serious threat. So that is why you will have to persist with a guy who's had great success opening the batting, and that's KL Rahul in the shortest format. So why not?
Tried and tested.
Yes. So India, Debashish Mohanty saying India are peaking too early. See, that was the case in all the previous T20 World Cups and the ICC ODI World Cup also. You did peak. You are doing well in bilateral series. But one bad day, remember an ICC event, one bad day you're out.
But I mean, peaking too early, if India were losing series now, then we'd be worried about their form.
And
So,
anyway,
there's no good answer.
this
in
whole
that,
thing about peaking and having momentum in T20s is overrated. Why? Australia, the 2021 World T20 champions, lost 8 out of 10.
They were
They were,
very bad.
no one counted them as favorites going into that T20.
And they were in the group of death, which included England, South Africa, Sri Lanka, West Indies, and Bangladesh. Yet in that group they finished second, and then you saw what happened in the semis and the finals.
But I think teams like Australia, particularly Australia, they know how to come good in these big tournaments.
Yes, they turn their A+ game on for only ICC events. Bilateral series, it's okay. So everything like this, peaking too early, winning bilateral series. Classic case is South Africa. They win bilateral series regularly, but where have they won an ICC event since 1998? Hardly.
True. Can we take a few more questions?
Few more.
Anurag? All right. Big knock round the corner, says Aditya Surya.
I think we all hope a big knock is around the corner. The hope is springing eternal.
I hope a big impactful knock is around the corner.
Impactful knock is more important, I would argue.
Because
Today it's falling into place. India are chasing flat wicket. Boundaries are small at Trent Bridge. Who knows? This could be the day when that big knock incoming and loading for Virat is finally achieved. Finally.
Let's see.
Let's hope. Anyway, in T20s he's had a great record. That's beside the point.
okay, Yash Singh is saying, why is Bhuvi not in the ODI squad?
Probably be wanting him to be fit for the T20 World Cup.
They're being cautious when it comes to movie, which is understandable because A, he's in the form of his life. 2, he does have a tendency of picking up knocks at the worst time possible.
Imagine similar great rhythm, swing, pace, and bounce. He had an injury, and it took quite a few years for him to recover.
That's the thing with him. He takes time to get going once he kind of comes back from an injury.
And remember, the 2 knocks, the 2 wins that we've got is all thanks to Bhuvi's
Yes.
burst in the power play.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think both matches he got both England openers out for Golden Ducks.
Roy and Butler.
Just the boss. There we go.
And in the last game, I think he bowled just 3 overs.
Yes.
And first match,
Full 4 overs.
He bowled out, I think, that match.
Because he had Bumrah at the other end in the second match, so he need not bowl out.
exactly.
So-
And the moment you get their openers out, the moment that ball is swinging so much, it tends to play on the minds of the batsmen. And also, the moment you get somebody like Joss Butler,
Clean
and,
bowled like that. Yeah.
Joss Butler and Jason Roy early, you've broken their backbone
Yeah.
to a great extent.
And the thing is that in this format especially, they're always looking to play their shots. You get one to swing, you're planting a lot of doubt in them.
Yes.
And that too, not just one form of swing, in
Exactly.
and out.
Both, exactly.
Both.
Yes. That
Especially the
creates-
dismissal to Malan, and if you have to look at it, Livingston and Roy in the previous games and all. Out, in, out. It was like that.
And majority of us, we predicted an England win before the
We
series
predicted
began.
England whitewash, in fact.
And now it is 2-0.
And India, the tables at India could whitewash England. Prasad Bhagat is like saying Shreyas should not be ahead of Huda considering his short ball problem.
I don't think now, as of now, Shreyas Iyer is ahead of Huda.
But he started the game today, no? So, in that sense,
He is in
he's
the
in the playing 11, no? Huda is not. So, I think considering Shreyas Iyer and white ball cricket, again, if you're going by pedigree and who's been there longer, Shreyas is the natural backup to either Surya or Virat if it comes down to it. Not on current form, not with the short ball problem, but if you're talking about past history and stuff like that, he would be ahead of Deepak Huda in the pecking order.
As of now, as of today, I think Deepak Huda is ahead of
Agreed.
Shreyas Iyer.
No. But see, again, if he was the case, I think Deepak
And
Huda would be
because see,
starting.
Deepak Huda, what he's done is that he has played whatever opportunities he
True,
got,
true,
wherever
absolutely.
he got,
Wherever.
whichever position.
Opener, lower order, middle order.
And he made the loudest noise when he scored that 100 against Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
Yes.
So I think Huda is going to be one of those unlucky guys to miss out due to the depth of talent that is there in the Indian team currently.
Yeah.
Where are you going to fit him? He'll be there in the squad of 15, that is there. But even there, Shreyas or Huda?
In fact, leave Shreyas. Shreyas is a backup to both Kohli and Surya.
Surya.
So your middle order in that sense is actually fairly sorted. Virat
Number 5 is
notwithstanding.
Hardik. Number 5 is Hardik. Number 6 is DK/Pant.
Yes.
So,
Okay, can we stop some? Okay.
yeah. It's legit is saying is KL Rahul fit for WI series? Well,
Not
he's
yet,
Not
no.
yet fit.
Is he in the NCA yet? Has he reached the NCA or no?
He should. After he's done with the
Surgery and all, yeah.
As it is, he's a Bangalorean, so
Exactly.
he would
Yeah. When will he be back? Akash Bharadwaj, good question. We ourselves don't
Even
know.
we are waiting and
We are
watching.
waiting for that. Austin Kuna is saying India are making wholesale changes for no reason. Virat has best record for visiting batter in Australia, average of 65. Strike rate 145. Well, Rahul and Rohit average below 25 at 125.
Look,
strike rate.
if you're going by that, when was the last time that India visited Australia? That it would have been when Kohli was in decent form. So again, if you're going by those numbers, historical numbers, I'm not a big fan of referring to that to like that, because if you go by current form, we know who's ahead.
Yeah.
Virat at this point, it's not a coincidence that you're reading news reports and hearing from the basis that they're keeping an eye on him.
Yes.
It's not because they have an agenda; it's because his form has really been bad.
Look, even in the last 2020-2021 tour when they had gone there, Virat did well in the ODIs but struggled in the T20s against Australia. In the tests, he just played one match and he was out. So, the problem is we can't read too much into the numbers because the ICC event, it will be a totally different beast altogether.
Exactly.
Those numbers make sense. Now, my interpretation is those numbers make sense if you are playing a bilateral series. But in an ICC event with different teams, different venues, alternatively, you have to look at these numbers in isolation. That's the problem we make.
True.
Momentum, when we found out in 2021, you have to throw momentum out of the window. Who gets your A game at that time in the ICC World T20, that team wins.
Yeah.
Warner did not even make it to the squad of 15 for the Sunrisers Hyderabad squad. Yet, see what he did.
Man of the season.
Mitchell Marsh.
Who no one had anticipated playing such an important role. See what he was
Exactly.
doing.
Look at what he did in the semi-final and the final.
Sujan Baskota. Sujan, you don't have to read too much into all these things. What has happened is Hardik, Bumrah and Chahal have been rested from this particular match. Why? Because they've already left for London. Because the next match that India plays against England will be the first match of the 3-match series of the ODI series.
Yeah.
And day after is that match.
Yeah.
All these 3 players, they've already left. So let's not
Read too much into that. Yeah.
Exactly.
And Sanju.
Oh man.
Arey, yeah, Sanju.
Sanju.
Why Shreyas Iyer is playing ahead of Huda, the world knows about his weakness.
The reason I gave you.
Silly point, Shane. In fact, we've just discussed that very issue. Shreyas Iyer, and he is also part of your scheme of things. As for I'm talking about Shreyas Iyer. So you at least have to give him some game time to prove his worth. And in this format, at least, he's done reasonably well. You would remember that series against West Indies or South Africa, where West Indies. So he got 3 back-to-back unbeaten 50s. So he hasn't done poorly, and he also merits a place in that team. Huda, we've seen, I think everybody all those decision makers at least, they've seen what he's capable of. He's done everything good that he could do to merit a place in that team, and now they're giving an opportunity to Shreyas Iyer. Maybe it will be a toss-up between the two, and the one who deserves a place should be there.
Yeah, actually, it would be a toss-up between these two, because if you're talking middle order, these would be your next best options after Surya and Kohli, not necessarily in that order. So those would be your middle order options.
Yeah.
No one else.
Because what has happened is you can officially you can give to the ICC, you can give 15 names, and there you will have 5 fast bowlers, you'll have 3 spinners.
Yes.
So then you are left with 8 more players.
7 more players. 5 fast bowlers, 3.
7 more players.
Yes.
You will have 2 openers.
Yes.
You will have. I expect Virat Kohli will be there as number 3. Then you will have Surya Kumar Yadav
At 4. Yeah.
Hardik at 5.
Hardik at 5.
Pant/DK at 6.
Pant/DK.
For me, I still say DK is ahead, but you
No, I'm
know.
saying it could
Pant
be.
could very well be opening at the top of the order also. So
You're
who
saying
knows?
okay 6. Now you're left with even if going by what you are saying, Pant/DK. Okay, then you have 6. That means now you're left with
7
just
Jadeja.
I've included Jadeja amongst 3 spinners.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
right.
5 fast bowlers. So now you're left with just 1 spot.
Exactly.
Just one
Just
spot.
1 spot.
That is the toss-up between Shreyas and
Deepak
Huda.
Exactly.
It could be. And Rishabh Pant. We are choosing between Rishabh Pant and DK. You never know. Maybe both of them are going. Maybe Rishabh Pant is going ahead of Dinesh Karthik.
If suppose not even looking at current form right now, okay, just looking at ICC, as I said, my playing 11, I'll again reiterate my playing 11 for that first game against Pakistan at Melbourne. It'll be Rohit, KL, Virat, Surya, Hardik, Pant, Ravindra Jadeja, Jasprit Bumrah, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, then you'll have Chahal,
And 1 fast.
1 Harshal Patel. That's my 11 for that Melbourne match against Pakistan.
I think majority of the people will pick the same 11.
Yeah.
Yes. I cannot see.
Convention says that.
Yeah, because DK will be your backup to Pant. Now, if Pant is the opener, then that means the whole dynamic changes then.
Correct.
Because KL, he won't bat at number 6. At max, he can bat at 4.
At max, he can bat at number 3. But will you replace him with or replace Virat with KL Rahul?
No.
So we'll have to see if Virat is going to make it to that World Cup squad, because as of now, to me, it seems that he will. I'll be surprised if he doesn't make it to that World Cup spot. India, no need to change. They want to check the bench strength. Rahul Sharma is saying. So
Kamlesh Acharya is also saying inexperienced bowling. Today it looks slightly inexperienced.
Yeah, it's a little light, the bowling line.
But again, IPL experiences are such that you can probably make it up at international level. It seems to work that way for Indian bowlers. Avesh has done well. The only problem I feel will be Ravi Bishnoi. He will not be able to contain in the middle overs because England have a plan against him. Play him as an off spinner.
Although you could say that the Irish struggled with that, but I think the English batsmen are a little different.
Much more exposure
exactly.
to the IPL.
Well, that's right. You can't discount the fact that this bowling attack looks a little inexperienced.
Yeah, it is
Ravi
inexperienced.
Bishnoi, Avesh Khan, Umran Malik. So that will be a test.
Yeah.
But
And imagine Umran Malik short boundary, just one flick, 150. He bowls 150 clicks, one flick or a top edge
and
can go
these
for six.
English batsmen, they are used to playing this kind of pace.
Yeah, exactly. That unlike some of the Indian players who he was troubling a lot, he won't be struggling as much.
Mir Mohammad Kalim is saying, are we going to consider KL Rahul in World Cup if he is fit just before the T20 World Cup? It remains to be seen whether when he's fit to play for India, and
hopefully
at least a couple of months. October is your World Cup.
Yeah.
So even if he comes
KL's
back
best chances being fit around the Asia
Cup, September.
August and September.
August and September, yes.
That is the best time to judge because KL will have how much? Potentially 6 plus 3 plus 2. The dates against Sri Lanka are not confirmed, the bilateral series. When will that be? We don't know. Asia Cup, August and September, and then before the World T20, the series against Australia. Essentially 10 T20Is to judge. Oh yeah, Austin Kuna, okay, correction noted. I mean, I had just said that he did struggle a bit in the T20Is. He did well in the ODIs there in the last tour. So, okay.
Hardik Pandya did pretty well.
Hardik
on
was
that last tour.
Yeah.
Hardik rescued us from going 3-0 down in that ODI series.
Yes.
He and
T20s he did.
he was
pretty
fantastic. Even in that, yep. Noted, Austin.
Oops, no sixth bowler. Yeah.
I don't think you'd want 6 bowlers. That would be a bit much in a squad of 15.
No, today.
Today?
Because Hardik is not there.
Right. Yeah.
Ronak Singh
Hardik.
is reminding you
Yep.
that there is no sixth bowler.
Yep.
Get VK to bowl this year.
Never know. Maybe
With a dodgy shoulder and a bad back, you don't want to risk that.
Valid.
Ravi Bachani saying, who do you prefer for as finisher, DK or Pant? Why? I would prefer DK. Primarily because he's done this role a lot of times. With Pant, it's hit and miss.
I would go for DK simply because when we talk about giving players long ropes, Pant has had a very long rope in white ball cricket and has always struggled for form. I will never doubt his place in the test squad or test playing 11. In fact, he walks into that playing 11. Or white ball, it's always been a bit iffy, and now you have someone who can do both roles, finish and keep wickets.
Yes.
So I would go with DK, but again,
DK just for whatever he's done the IPL and Nidahas and because he's got that finishing pedigree, he's got that experience. Why not?
Yeah.
And Pant, as I said, one good shot, one bad shot, he's gone.
That's it. There's no in between there. Yeah.
DK can be clinical right from the word go. That's the best part. Anurag, further, any more?
We will take a couple more questions and make our predictions.
Score predictions.
We'll wait for that.
Yeah.
Just try and take one more.
If Virat is dropped for West Indies T20s, who will replace him in squad? Rituraj or Sanju?
Sanju more likely because Rituraj is carrying a bit of a knock, isn't he?
He is carrying a niggle. So yeah, Sanju. But again,
no, Ruturaj has been named in your ODS.
He is there,
for West Indies.
Then I think it might
and
be.
remember, we are assuming that all the seniors might be rested for the T20Is. Might not be the case.
Yes.
ODIs they are rested.
May not happen.
Yeah. Rohit might, because Rohit is coming off a long layoff.
Exactly.
And these 2 matches were his first in 2 months almost. So you'd want to have an extended run in the T20Is. So he'll be there. With KL Rahul not there, Perhaps those reports are false that Virat has asked for the entire tour. Maybe it's false.
We'll have to check.
We'll have to check
whether
that.
he has asked for the rest or.
Yeah.
Uh,
Rahul Anand, as far as your question is concerned about whether Asia Cup is happening in Sri Lanka or Oman, so far
it's happening in Sri Lanka.
it's happening in Sri Lanka despite the problems
Political unrest,
there.
yeah.
but you never know because it's a law and order issue now.
Yes. Situations become pretty anarchic there in
Exactly,
Sri
you
Lanka.
know, I understand there is a test match happening
Yep.
as we speak. In fact,
But also
it was
in a different
third
city, remember?
Gaul.
Exactly.
So it's
Not
happening
far from-
not
Not
far,
far
from
from,
Colombo.
but still.
But even yesterday we saw that so many people had gathered outside the venue.
Yes.
Of course, they didn't disturb the proceedings of the match, and there was. But still, you never know. You have
Just need one element.
exactly. You have to hope for the best, but you also have to prepare for the worst.
Worst.
Yeah.
So
There were
what
about 100 protesters waiting outside the bus stand at Gaul so that they could go to Colombo and protest. And it's only 2 hours away, 1 or 2 hours away from Colombo,
Exactly.
Gaul. So there is no problem for the Australia series because that's only 2 days are remaining. But there are question marks over the Pakistan series that will begin, which are part of that World Test Championship cycle. They begin from July 14th onwards. I guess that's the date.
think we missed a super chat from Chandresh Narayan,
Oh.
our dear friend. He says actually after Asia Cup, India also plays South Africa. Yes.
SA in 3. Wow, that
SA in 3?
T20 is again.
I think he was again.
Yeah. Yes.
We played
think
5 in June. Are we going to South Africa for 3 T20Is? Or they are ODIs?
Australia will also come here.
Yeah.
South Africa. But that I know that because it's not that
Confirmed.
immediately after India is done with the Asia Cup, they'll play the World Cup. There are a few more matches left.
Yes. So Australia 3 is proposed, but South Africa, are they going to South Africa or 3 T20Is?
That's a very packed cricket calendar.
No, it always is.
Yep.
For India, it always is. So the match has started. Davesh Khan
Yes.
is bowling
Got the
the
new
first
ball.
over,
Yeah.
and
Roy and Butler.
Roy,
I think they would be breathing a sigh of
Roy would
relief
be
not
so
having to
relieved.
face that in swing.
Roy would be so relieved
Yes.
because this one first delivery didn't do
Do
too much.
anything. Exactly.
Didn't do too much.
I'm actually fancying maybe England will actually get a win today. Flat.
Okay, Chandresh is saying SA is coming to India for 3 T20s. Again, in the space of 4 months.
I'm alive.
South
BCCI
Africa
is
is an-
really meherban on cricket.
South Africa is an important board,
Yep,
Yeah,
it is.
it is.
and it will be a good preparation for India also.
Yeah.
A good team to be playing, sure.
Maybe you've already the last series that both these teams played
2-2 draw.
ended to maybe that.
Maybe
will
this
be a-
one won't.
exactly. Chalo.
So prediction time, I say England 187 and they are probably winning it.
198 England win.
I was about to say 197. Anyways, 197.
Okay, so see you around guys for the
Mid and post.
mid and post, but cricket action is not only continuing, there's also Wimbledon and F1 has also started.
Yeah.
And thank you, Austin Kuna. Thank you for your love.
Thank you
and
so much.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Austin.
Out.
Oh,
No. Oh, very close though.
very
Wait,
close.
wait.
Yeah.
Chalo.